just staring at it. And I went through and just started pulling everything up. I think I got 10, but I actually like pulled it off the shelf and stuff.
Oh shit, nice. I'm not that prepared. I think I have a few in my head
Yeah,
that stand out.
I have a few in my head that stand out. Like I have one that started off really good for me reading it, but I'm going to be disappointed by it. All right. I have a few in my head. All right, cool. We are live streaming. We'll see if anyone comments on the fact that if anything's echoey, as they normally do. But time for me to do the sign in. Aloha, Lohali, signing in with the live stream manga club. Today we have your boys Jingraves. Say hi.
Yeah.
And your boy ToasterCat. Toaster.
Hello, hello.
And obviously you have your long-haired host who is looking super homeless today, me, Lohali. And this video is going to be specifically about manga that we have started in 2018, manga that actually came out this year, and our thoughts on them. They're going to be either great or terrible, or I'm going to throw Toaster under the bus every now and then for how he thinks Magi is the best shonen to come out in the last 10 years.
For sure, it is. Yeah, we're gonna do a video one of these days.
We
going
are.
at it.
I'm dead set on us doing a straight up video that is all about just you and me going at, like, I love Magi, don't get me wrong, but
What's competition? Just tell me that.
competition in the last 10 years.
Okay, so it can't be one of those, like, it can't be One Piece, it can't be Full Metal, because that started
Oh, no.
early, 1996.
Anything that came out after 2008. I mean,
Essentially,
honestly,
yeah.
competition right now, and I know you don't like it, but My Hero Academia's competition.
What wait, really? I thought that's like 2011.
But that's 10 years ago. That's within the 10-year time span.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think My Hero Academia is taking it.
And then let's see what else do I have on my shelf specifically. Man, so you have My Hero Academia,
Like the Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland. Honestly, though, like
Get all the pops behind me and be like, because I did get a new All Might right there.
yeah, I mean,
You're gonna be like,
we'll have to come up with a list of, like, because it's hard to remember what came out in the last 10 years. Because you think about it,
Yeah.
like I would have been 13, 14, 15 in that point in time.
I think with the more time you give it, the better Magi is going to age, because I feel like My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland, all that shit is only going down from here. I feel like it's very hard for it to continue its momentum, in my opinion at least. It's much easier for it to fail at this point than it is to succeed.
I can agree with that. The only hard part is if My Hero Academia follows the One Piece pattern like it's been doing, it's gonna have one huge epic arc followed by like a down arc followed by up and down like this.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna help it climb because it'll be here and then its peaks will be pretty high and its values won't be quite as low every single time, and it'll keep getting. I think he has the ability to keep getting better if he sticks with it. I think Eden Zero has a very if Eden Zero follows through with what Rave Master did, like that same style. I think Eden Zero has the possibility to be. I'm gonna straight up say it. I think it has a possibility to be in top 10 shonen of all time.
I think he can fairy tale it.
He can either go really good like Rave Master, or he can go full fairy tale.
oh, man. I gotta read his Playground manga. I was sitting there like flipping through it, and it says on the back what stories are in it. And Fairy Tale originally, the main guy was gonna have horns, and I was like, that's not true. What am I looking at? It's like his first idea for Fairy Tale and everything, though.
Yeah, it's just ridiculousness. Like, just think about all the shonen manga that have come out in the last 10 years, and then you also have to figure out what's shonen and what's seinen.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty hard too. There's some shit that you'll think like, oh, this is like One Punch Man, is seinen, right? But it's in Shonen Jump.
I'm just curious now, like, which shonen manga have come out since 2008. Oh man, let's see. I have, because then you have to figure out like what's from Shonen Jump, what's from like Tokyo, like all that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
But
Magi was on like Shonen Sunday or some shit, right? Well,
yeah, it
the
was
Sunday version of fucking Shonen Jump.
because I have that straight up. I did you see my collection video? I ended up buying Magi, the first volume.
Yeah. Dude, you need to
I've read it.
read through it. Read through it again. Those first couple arcs are really good too.
My only problem is when they do that huge like flip on your head when he finally comes back, and it's the final arc of him versus
Oh, are you talking about like at the end of the series?
yeah.
Yeah.
The ending was
Honestly, I'm reading through it again, and I actually I like it, but back then it was like maybe it's just because I was keeping up with it, or like the hype was so real that I was kind of let down. But as right now, I'm actually like reading it and be like, oh, cool, it's a change of pace, you know?
okay. I think because I read it all in one go, and I got to that point, and it was just so jarring. I was like,
Because you're so used to one thing, you're so
Yeah.
used to this, and then all of a sudden they give you this, and it's like
I was like, oh man,
it's not the same manga anymore.
I was like okay, this makes sense. You know, deserts, like have a little bit of technology here and there. Suddenly, out of nowhere, just boom, right in the face.
That's Sinbad, though, man.
Dude,
He can do anything.
Sinbad, like I like like as a character, he was good because he played the part of protagonist and antagonist really really well, and they let you know from the very beginning that he was going to have this kind of
the foreshadowing for there.
Foreshadowing. For sure. But anyway, we're getting way off topic right now. I'm pulling up a list of manga that was released in 2018.
That's off topic too. We need to fucking talk about the favorite manga 2018.
That was my bad, boys. That's my bad.
This for another time. You're trying to end it now. You're trying to fucking put me in my grave.
Now you know what? We will come back to this manga discussion in the future, and it will be the most epic, like shootout drag out of like it'll be like a decade of manga and trying to figure out why Magi is number one in your heart.
I want to referee.
You'll have to referee. We will put you in charge of everything.
So what's your favorite one? I think you should figure out your top manga that's most controversial to the other person.
Well, no, Death Note was when early 2000s.
Yeah, Death Note was way too early 2000s, and we all know how riled that get about Death Note being
just out of nowhere. I'm just gonna bring it up out of nowhere just to get you off topic. Yeah.
Like, but is Death Note? Like, I don't even know if I'd count Death Note as a shonen.
Again.
But would you count Death Note as a shonen?
It is, right? Or no? I don't know. That's confusing because they're in Shonen Jump, but then you'll go and they're classified as seinen. But it makes sense.
Like,
I think it is shonen just because it doesn't have certain aspects in it. Platinum Inn is considered a seinen because there's like partial nudity. I mean, a lot of stuff they see. You know, you get to see the person like die right there, and it's not a heart attack, like somebody gets cut down or whatever.
But they like I don't know. Like I want to have a whole discussion about like why some things are classified as shonen and other things are classified as seinen, and just where we think it would go, like why we think it's in the wrong category. Like for me, like man, Death Note is classified as a shonen, but it's right at the very top of being.
I think it makes sense though because if you look at it from the other elements, like it is pretty. If we're saying shonen, right, the demographic of teenage boys,
yeah,
you're very egotistical. The world kind of revolves around you, and is that all Death Note? Isn't that all fucking light? That hardcore portrays to that of just like he thinks he's a god complex. The man thinks he's God, and he has a right to think so, and that is. Especially when I was like 12, 13, all you're thinking about is like yourself.
Yeah, but
Hey, the beginning of Death Note is really, really fucking good. Like you can't take that away from it.
The first arc is great. Yeah. The first arc, I actually enjoy. I enjoy the first arc.
It's like the first 6 volumes, maybe 7 volumes around there.
Yeah, and then they get and then it just gets downhill.
It was like they couldn't keep it up.
They couldn't, and then everyone comes out and is like, "Oh, this is the greatest psychological manga of all time." And then there's
the first 7 volumes were pretty fucking good.
Like I'll give it to the first 7 volumes. Is Tokyo Ghoul Shonen?
Yes.
Yeah, that one too. That one's on the well, that's another reason why they're so popular, right? Especially Tokyo Ghoul is because it's like so edgy for being shonen, you know? The dark tone.
It's technically seinen. It is technically seinen. Yes. Oh, it's published by Shueisha. It's put in Weekly Young Jump. It is in Young Jump. It's not in Shonen Jump. That's why they can count it as seinen.
All right, there you go.
I think the publisher really has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, the show, but then it's always rough because it's like in Shonen Jump or in Young Jump, and it's just like you're like, all right, this sounds like shonen.
But then it gets published underneath.
I think with that though, they've made because there's also like the Shonen Sunday and all that other stuff. I think like they've made it where there's like, because like when would you consider like the ending of a shonen to be like when you should stop it, like 16 somewhere in there, and then seinen would be from 17 upward. I feel like they're cutting it a lot more, so it's like shonen for them is like we expect people to stop reading it by like 13, and then you have like Sunday, which would be like beginning 13 to 14. And then, like they have different levels that they try to anticipate where you would read at.
Yeah, and but here's the thing. I just looked up like former titles in Young Jump, and they have Captain Tsubasa. I was like, how does that even count? Like to me, that's a shonen. Why are you playing it? Why are you having a sports manga like that, like Captain Tsubasa, in a seinen magazine?
Hey man, they smoke cigarettes. I don't know. Do they? Probably.
There's probably a cigarette.
Everyone smokes cigarettes in there.
Because we've all read Bakuman too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it is they just go, I don't really think you can carry the story on that long in this one if you did it every week. We're going to push it where you're doing it on a monthly basis or a bi-weekly basis.
Yeah. But like I said, it just comes down to just definition. But again, we're all getting off topic because Toaster really wanted to get me on a rant about.
It worked.
All right, bring it back.
We're bringing it back. So, favorite series from that you picked up in 2018.
All right. You want to start it? Let's go one each.
Let's go and
then we'll talk about it. So like someone will say theirs and we'll talk about it, and someone else will say another one.
We'll do Jingraves, the Grave Masters up first.
Oh man. Probably my favorite one. You're gonna make me look at this stack. Probably my favorite one is one of my favorite ones is this one. Junie Tyson, Zodiac War.
Tyson, yeah, I think so. Junie Tyson, Zodiac War. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, fun as hell. You go into it, and it's basically set up where all these families based off of the Chinese Zodiac send a member of their family in. They all have like one special power and a weapon they're trained with and all this other stuff. And you go into it with the female on the cover basically being the main spotlight. Like 10 seconds in, she's dead.
Oh shit.
Yes. And then it just goes from there. Like everybody's got some kind of like superpower or different vendetta towards everything. And it's just crazy. Everybody has something. They'll do the traditional like let me give you my name before the fight, but they'll say like I'm ToasterCat of the Dragon Clan, and then they tell like whatever they have some kind of certain sentence, and it's like I kill by something.
Wow.
I kill with fire, or that's how they always say it, and it's just like a semi-mortal combat, but better.
Dude, the crazy thing is apparently this is based off of a light novel.
Yeah.
What? Dude, that sounds insane.
Oh man, it's good. I mean, just like people's intents. There's the guy from the dog. His like ultimate superpower thing that he has is like he can control poisons and make it in his body out of like his blood or whatever. And he's traveling with the chick from the Rooster Clan, and is like, "Oh man," he goes, "I don't want to fight anybody. I'm gonna make sure that she's the one that gets hurt. She does this," and he like punches her in the stomach to inject part of his blood into her, where now she's like Kaioken times 10, and so she can go fight this guy that they found, and she turns around and just like punches him in the face. Now, because she's like KO 10 times 10, she blows his head off.
What the hell?
Yeah, so he gave her a power up, trying to use her, and while he's sitting there psychoanalyzing everything, she blows his head off, and it's like, what now?
It's one of those mangas you can't expect. You have to just go in it, and it's just
Oh,
you don't know what's gonna happen next.
everything I've read in this one so far, I haven't really expected.
I'm straight up reading this, like the character descriptions of all these guys, and it ends with like their killing mottos, like
Yeah.
killing all, killing systematically, killing in a drunken rage, killing psychotically, killing for money again, killing silently, killing deceptively, killing peacefully because she's a pacifist, killing
Yes.
by pecking because he's a chicken, killing by biting, killing bountifully, and I think that's it. Covered them all. It's weird. And you've given me a new series to look into, like you always do. You and your gigantic collection.
And I mean, it just started, so I mean, it's still kind of. I think Volume 3 comes out in February.
Is this one of? This sounds like one of those series where the release gaps are pretty long, right?
No, it started back in June, and then the second one just came out November. So I mean, about 4 months.
Well, yeah, that's compared to like the average 3 months. It's all right.
It's
What's
fun.
the shonen? Shonens are like every 3 months, right? You get a new volume or something, some shit like that.
Man, I don't follow any of that. Just
Come
because
on, man.
I know I'm the worst manga collector.
You should at least follow it with a fucking what is it?
Eden Zero.
Eden Zero, yeah, Eden Zero.
You know me.
Especially on Amazon, you can get those for like $5.
That's not my $3.99.
A little bit more. All right, should I go next? Mine's an easy one. This is gonna be a new one. I just really like the Full Metal Classic Edition that came out this year. I thought not the Classic Edition. What am I saying? The Full Metal Edition. Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal Edition. The hardcover came out this year. Yeah, in March or something like that. I just think it's really good. It gives me another chance to reread Full Metal Alchemist and enjoy it as a much older individual. I think last time I read it or had anything to do with the series was probably 6 years ago. So I've grown up, and I'm like going back on it. I was like, is this gonna hold up? It's like, god damn! Not only does this hold up, this is the best shit shonen, not of all time, but it's up there. It has to be like top 3.
I really like what you brought up in one of your videos where you were talking about how now it is like the perfect edition or whatever that that now that there's like 3 of them together, you're reading it, and when you were reading it as the single volumes, it seemed like things didn't happen as fast as they did, and then now that you've read like the first 2 books, you're like, we're not supposed to be here yet. What the heck?
Yeah, it totally. Full Metal Alchemist is like, you know, when you think about important events, you assume that they're like kind of a bit spaced out, and you know, shit just happens every other chapter. Something's going down.
It's such a good manga, but I've started to think about it, and I'm not sure if Full Metal's even in my top 10.
I think it deserves another reread, especially now. I think because back then, when I would read a story or enjoy an anime or something, you're just like really fixated on the main character, everything that he does. And I think the beauty in Full Metal Alchemist is the supporting cast and the side stories that go on,
I
and
think
that really shines in the second read through.
I can. I think the side characters are probably the most interesting portion of um, Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know, like it's such a good manga, and it's such a phenomenal anime.
Neither one of y'all have read Arslan, though, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've read the first couple volumes. It's
I feel like Arslan is so much better than Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, just because it took place after it, it actually got to draw stuff. So all the stuff with the side characters, they're still basically with the main characters because they're like his strategic council.
Yours.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that one, but it's okay. Honestly, I think it's her weakest work simply because it's based off the novel, so she can't do much. She doesn't have a lot of wiggle room, but it's definitely pretty good.
I need to read it. You guys are making me read it. Oh, and my girlfriend wants to read it too, so I might as well.
Lovely's manga collection, 2019.
2019.
Yeah, up to 1,000. Why do you get to 1,000? ToasterCat and Jingraves.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest here, I added 15 new manga to my collection in the past that are gonna go into my January manga haul already.
Damn.
Well, they had
Half price books OP or what?
dude. They had a half price book.
Can you give us a sneak peek? What you had?
The initials of it are DD, and it's about dragons.
Dragon Drive?
Yeah.
Damn, just like that. The encyclopedia of manga right there. Is it Dragon Trap?
I mean, if we're gonna be honest here, like I was walking through because they had a 20% off sale, between Christmas
Already
and
off
Friday.
of fucking $2 already.
Yeah, so I got all 14 for they were originally $3.99 a piece, so I ended up getting them for like 40 or 44 bucks. It was probably $50 after tax for 14 manga.
I feel like you should do a commercial where like you're that kid in the candy store, you walk in and you don't have enough change, and you walk out and find a quarter on the ground and you run back in all excited because you're like, oh, I can buy it.
I might have done that before. So before taxes.
Getting a little off track here. Did you guys see? I want to touch on it a little bit. Did you see? Do you guys know who Andrew Sundoku is, right?
Yeah.
You just watch him. What about you, Holly?
No.
Okay, Andrew Sundoku. He has like almost 4K subs, but
Oh wait.
I remember. Yeah, long hair dude.
Okay, yeah, I think I know which one.
He was gone for a while.
Yeah, he's back. He uploaded a video, but I remember when the whole Shueisha thing was happening, and Megs was talking about it, how like no one in the community is really like sponsored or gets anything for free. Well, Andrew just uploaded a video where Vertical actually sent him free manga and was like, "Hey, just talk about it on your channel." So I thought that was really cool. I was like, "Damn."
By the way, Rerun Ransom is telling you that Arslan is greatness and stop being a skeptic. It's going to you, Toaster.
It's good. It's good. I don't think it's better than Full Metal though. It's good though.
I totally hope that Rerun is subscribed to me because that's somebody I want in my corner now.
You're like, yeah, take that, Toaster. Look who I got on my side.
Yeah, then I mean, he would just be like one of my trap cards that I play. Well, Rerun said this,
and just blows him away.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool for the community. The fact that he's getting free stuff, it's like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Well, staying off track, Chibi Reviews had Shonen Jump sent him something at one point.
But that guy's like astronomical, you know? That guy's like like a legit making a living off this stuff.
Like the people, whenever I think of like manga and anime tubers that make money off of the channel, I mean, obviously you have Chibi Reviews, you have Mother's Basement, you have Anime Uproar or whatever their name is, might be able to. I'm surprised. Here's the one that blows me away. Tekken 101 is still like he still works at basically the Dollar General, I think.
Does he still work? No way.
Yeah, that's from one like every single time that I watch one of his videos, he talks like and he mentions his schedule. And this is within like last month or two still. Like he mentions that he's still like he has to work his job around there. He's never mentioned getting a new job and he normally will mention something like that in his life thing when it changes. But I think he's still working at the Dollar General.
That's crazy. I don't know. For some reason, you think he's doing something wrong because with that much subscribers and like the views, well, maybe AdSense isn't as high as I think it is. But damn, well, you know what? A lot of it is it like these people, a lot of them depend on like the Patreon, and it's like if you don't get your Patreon popping, it's like all right, gotta have to work a regular job.
Well, I don't think he doesn't have Patreon. I think he just does it because he wants to. Like. I honestly, it sounds weird, but if I were ever to strike it big on YouTube, let me rephrase that. When I strike it big on YouTube, watching you subscribers,
as you continue getting big on YouTube,
as I continue my rise like a phoenix from the ashes, like, I think I'd still want to maintain a regular job. That way I'm not completely consumed by my channel. And if anything were to ever go wrong with the channel, I wouldn't have to go out and find a new job. I think that Tekking's playing it right, especially since his, you know, he doesn't have a second series after One Piece ends right now. I mean...
But that's still odd that he's there because isn't he like a graduate from college, right?
No, I don't think he ever went to college.
No, he did. Come on.
No.
I watched his stuff. He went. He talked about all the time. Going to college and being in the club or something.
I don't know. Like the way that he talks about it, I don't think he.
Dude, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna find a video, and I'm pretty sure there's a fucking degree on his wall.
Maybe it went to community college.
And I mean, I went to community college. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, hey, even then.
I went to community college.
Even then, you can get something from it if you get like a certificate or whatnot. But community into like right now, I just finished and I'm going to university this year for like a year and a half, and then hopefully I'm fucking done.
You know what? We need to get Tekking on here.
Right.
We need
see, Stubbs is saying he did go to college.
See, okay, so why do I think he didn't though?
This is from a long time ago too, because I used to always watch his videos like, years ago.
Maybe he's like even older than we think he is.
Well, he is.
He's
that's
like
26.
Like he's like almost 40 or something. And
no, he's like, is he 26 really?
He's older than me, and I'm 25.
Holy fuck, dude, that guy ages very, very well.
When he turns 40, he'll finally look like he's 21. Good lord! But I've been watching him since his Bleach review days.
Dude, those were the days. That guy was a fucking encyclopedia. He was a dictionary of Bleach. It was insane. Do you remember watching him do those like those quizzes online, and he would get all of them? I was like, what? How do you know this?
This is, I mean, you think about this. He started manga reviewing 7 years ago, and he's the most consistent uploader.
Oh my god!
Like his channel, those aren't even his oldest videos. Like his oldest videos are from like 9 years ago. Let me see. I'm pulling it up just to be sure. 9 years ago, and when he was talking about medieval. Oh man, he looks so young. Oh good lord. Yeah, it was all just like.
I totally don't think this is just going to be an hour-long live stream.
It's got to be because I gotta go finish cleaning out my apartment. Oh man. But
oh man.
Like I want to get Tekking on here just so we can have a conversation with him about how he successfully transitioned from being the biggest Bleach YouTuber to being basically the biggest One Piece YouTuber.
Yeah,
didn't he do Naruto for a little while too, though?
I'm not entirely sure. He might have talked about Naruto, but he loves like the amount of time that he puts into One Piece, the amount of time that he put into Bleach, and now he's doing for both One Punch Man, and every now and then he'll do like Let's Plays with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's crazy too.
He did My Hero Academia too. That I saw.
He's done My Hero Academia a few times. And I think that when One Piece ends, if it ends before anything, he'll pick it up. He'll pick up My Hero Academia if it's still popular.
He still has at least another like 6-7 years.
Oh yeah.
One Piece.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the big boys club right there. That's like if I even had half of his subscribers, I would be so pumped. If I had one.
Even if fucking like a tenth of his subscribers, still like 30-something thousand, 35K.
Oh man, that would be.
He blew up. That's crazy because I remember like it was like a slow climb to 100,000, and then once he hit 100,000, it was just fucking. From there, he just gained that in a year, and now he's like at 350.
And then if you take a look at like his views, he's also like really consistent in his views.
Yeah,
like
people are there for him. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know which videos of his are gonna do really well. Like his discussion videos are gonna do really well, and his reviews do really well. And then after that, his geography. He does his like his stuff that he wants to, like just talk about like geography is everything. But we're so off topic right now. We're talking about a manga tuber that a lot of us have been watching for the past.
So, get back on topic, Lowly. What's your favorite 2018 manga?
Well, apparently it's Smokey. Say hey, Smokey. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, Smokey, get you out of my face. All right, you can sit down right there, not on my phone.
I have the mic.
All right. So my favorite manga that I've picked up in 2018. I'm gonna have to say Kingdom is the favorite one that I picked up in 2018, hands down. I love Eden Zero. Like it's so much fun, but I think just where the story's at so far, the details in the drawing.
Come on, let's be honest. Eden Zero is never gonna be as good as.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in my top 10. Here it is.
I mean, dude, have you read Kingdom?
No.
Yeah. You need to like they're never gonna get it out in English. They never will.
They are. Don't say that. They will.
Actually, it might because they are coming out with a live action adaptation.
Luckily, 2021.
What up?
That's it. That's the year when you're gonna just like somehow get like super rich and publish all these random mangas we haven't had before.
Okay, so my goal whenever I become like a millionaire, like
Captain the Boss.
Yeah, you tell us this.
Yeah, and now Kingdom is on that translated as well because it's just.
It was dude, you're ridiculous because it was the one you wanted to do is Hajime no Info, right? Come on, man. That's fucking. You're already looking at like almost 2,000 chapters in manga. You have to translate. You have to bring over. It'd be worth it though. We need them.
Imagine imagine if Ippo, like the good anime for Ippo had come out during like the boxing boom of the 90s, how far along it would be like in popularity.
I think for Ippo it's so large that we need like some massive edition where it's like 5 volumes in one. Even with Kingdom too, like I did like thinking about it, it's like if you're trying to publish Kingdom now and we want to catch up, if we do one volume every 2 months, that's 6 volumes a year. And it'll still take us, 10 years to catch up to where we're at right now?
Oh my god.
So by the time that happens, the series will be done, because he wants it to end at 1,000 chapters supposedly, right?
Yeah.
And so when that happens, it's like we'll be like 60% of the way through or like halfway through the series in 10 years.
No, see, I'm gonna do it above that. I think I'm gonna make them like complete collector's editions, like make them all in one kind, not all in one, but like
oh yeah,
omnibuses.
All in one. Fucking do it all in one. Oh,
I'm gonna do them in omnibuses, just like and call them the Rao Fui edition. Just because he wants to do Just because he made that one huge contribution to like literature.
Yeah.
God, I feel like it would be like Lone Wolf and Cub, like those omnibuses, like all stacked together.
Oh, I'll like I said, I'm gonna make them like the cool omnibuses and have 3 of those come out and come out with those every 3 months, 2 months, so that way you're getting 6. And if each one of them holds 3, I think I could catch up. I could catch up in time.
That'd totally be
And then,
like
do you know which
the
one was
Friday
like
Bible.
when Haikyuu came here over to the States? Like they wanted to catch up with the series, so they were releasing it monthly, the volumes. So that was insane, and they caught up real quick.
Ah, man, that would be so cool. Yeah, just one omnibus a month. My
Or
translator.
even one volume a month. If they bring it over, do one volume a month.
One omnibus a week.
Oh shit.
See,
You'd be like, I'm trying to read through it so fast.
the one that would break me emotionally would just be Hajime no Ippo. Like trying to catch up with that would legitimately, no matter how you released it, would take forever.
That's like but I don't know, man, because it's like people say it's too long, we can't do it, but then there's One Piece, there's fucking Case Closed, Detective Conan. It's like we have examples of like long running series. Then again, like we've been publishing it for years now, but we can do it. Like the demographic is there. The people are gonna buy it. There's a fan base. There's a market for it.
And
It's just that people don't want to do it.
I think if you bring it out in like an English, like an easily consumable English thing, like do you know how many like Michael B. Jordan likes Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah. He likes manga in general, right? He reads it. I remember I saw an interview. It's like he'll read it in the car or some shit. It's like, damn, dude, make a video.
Yeah, like
Shout out the community, bro.
like, but that's the thing is I'm just like, man, you get celebrity backing of it, and if Michael B. Jordan were to just like post a straight up thing on like his Twitter or Instagram, and he's like, look at this, and he's like showing something, you know how insane that would be? Like if he's just like he has a viewing party, like a live stream viewing party of it with like Ninja, and suddenly Hajime no Ippo explodes, and people are like, oh man, it's getting a new anime. I would die.
Yeah, because not only will he make it cool, it's fucking Michael B. Jordan, dude. He'll make it sexy too. All the women will buy it.
He'll make Ippo sexy.
He will, dude. It's the power of Michael B. Jordan right now,
I mean,
dude.
Ippo by himself is already sexy enough. I mean, hardworking. He supports his mother. He loves his girlfriend, even though they've never done anything.
He's yeah, he's fucking whatchamacallit. In the latest chapters, he's like he hit a slump, right?
Have you read the newest chapter yet?
No, I'm behind. I'm behind a little bit. Like I just know he got through like a dark. There's a dark phase. What's going on, right?
It's a needed phase for him to like grow mentally as a boxer.
To be fair though, I think the problem with that is it's 1,000 chapters plus, and he's having that phase of like, everyone has it where it's like, oh, like, can I do this anymore? He's hit that ceiling, right? And then it's like, damn, bro, but 1,200 chapters in, he's gonna have this.
The insanity behind what happens though. Like, there's one chapter when you get caught up, like you're gonna read it and you're gonna be like, oh, that was amazing. But anyway, yeah. Kingdom was my go-to for this year.
That's a really good choice.
The action is good, the storyline is good, the characters are honestly very, very fun. The artwork is beautiful. The anime is terrible.
The other thing about it too is like it's a somewhat mystery, right? Because there's all those theories going around. This is not really a spoiler, but the main character, his goal is to be like a general in the heavens, like essentially someone that's going to go down in history. Yet his name isn't mentioned in the actual history, right? So there's all these like theories of like why that is.
I mean, I do my best to stay away from the historical spoilers on this one because I'm loving the ride. It's actually
based on history, right?
Yeah, it's like
toe to toe.
A lot of the big events that happen, like the big events, actually happened in China. So, but
side story. Yeah.
Oh man, It's so good.
Funny because that's one of my other ones. It's in my top 10 that I had that I pulled out. I mean, it's not Kingdom, but it's Versailles of the Dead.
Okay.
Never heard of that one either. You're pulling up all these.
Yeah, this one goes into like the history of like Italy, and it's kind of like Pride and Prejudice zombies because all these people are like having stuff happen and they don't know about it, and then there's zombies in it, but just like randomly, here's zombies.
God, they don't have a. I'm not finding a Wikipedia on this because normally I can find a Wikipedia, read it while you're talking about it, and then sound like I know stuff.
Oh, that. It came out in 2016, didn't it?
2000 originally published October 2018. Versailles the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh wait. That might just be the English release. If I could say words. The manga launched in January 2016, so you were right, but moved to Manga One app after this month after the magazine ceased publication. The first volume was it's all over the place, man. I cannot find accurate information on this. How can I look like I know what I'm talking about when it's lying to me at all points?
It just came out with an English release.
Yeah, so, yeah, take that, Toaster. You were totally wrong. Definitely not me who was wrong.
I just gave a guess, guys. I don't have anything open right now.
I just picture you, like, you sitting down, like, sipping coffee while you're talking to us.
I'm chilling, dude. I'm reclining.
Oh, dude. So,
Peanuts running around.
Let's say, what do I have? I came to a struggle this year because I sold a bunch of series because I don't have the space right now. In a few more years, in like 3 or 4 years, like I'll probably have a room that I can dedicate to manga, so I'll start buying these series again. So I want to do a quick plug to the Shonen Jump app. I don't know if we like reading manga online, but that's been my saving grace this year, honestly. At the end of the year.
With the upgrades that they brought to it.
Yeah, the upgrades, right? So you pay $1.99 a month, which is nothing, right? I consider that nothing. Like it's $1.99. Like you're not gonna notice that. What can you get for $2 nowadays? You can't get jack shit.
A pack of gum.
Yeah, you can't even get a gallon of gas for $2. Come on.
Hate to tell you this, California, $1.89.
Oh, God damn! All right, well not over here. We're still at like 3 something.
Dude, Midwest is cheap. Move to the Midwest.
You guys have half price books, dude.
We have half price books. Like I can buy a gallon of milk for under $3.
Yeah, it's not happening over here. But getting back to it, there's a lot of series that I can't collect at the moment because I don't have the space, and then I don't want to embark on like these longer series like Assassination Classrooms, 21 volumes. Even then, like it wasn't my favorite series to where I could like justify having it in my collection of limited space. And in this app, I went ahead and read it on there. So I'm like, oh wow, cool! I got the whole series on the app, read it for free and whatnot, and I'm supporting it. So I was like, all right, it's pretty good. I liked it. Came to a conclusion. Now I can talk about that series. I'm happy. And then the series that I'm embarking on right now, that all the chapters are on the app. Because how the app works is you get the first 3 not the first 3, but you get the latest 3 chapters of everything that's in Shonen Jump. In the real Shonen Jump, right? Like the My Hero Academias and all that. So if you're caught up, you can just download the app if you're caught up and just be reading it off there. But if you do subscribe and become a member for $1.99 a month, you get the vaults, which is like everything that's ever been in Shonen Jump, but not really. You know, it's like so far like Hunter x Hunter's not in there. 20th Century Boys isn't in there, like Elias was asking. Like, there's a lot of things that aren't in there, but I feel like they're just, they're a company, so they're waiting. They're going to be like, oh, announcing this month, Hunter x Hunter's on it now. So they're going to get those, new subscribers and whatnot. But it's been really fun, and for someone that has limited space and still wants to support, I'm, like, using that now. And I'm reading Toriko, which is fucking 40-something volumes. And I'm actually thinking Toriko's a hidden gem, guys.
43?
Yeah, 43. It's sleeping on it.
It's Toriko is so It's like if you go into it expecting greatness,
It is.
it's literally when I think of like over the top battle shonen, like Toriko is just it. Like it is sky high, ridiculous. It is fun. It is stupid. It is amazing. And I don't care what anyone says. Like, oh, it's over the top. It's ridiculous. I was like, listen. In Dragon Ball, we went from being able to shoot tiny little laser beams from your hands to literally having the ability to explode the universe. Not just the galaxy, the universe. But we're getting upset here because we go from them throwing air forks from their hands to being able to fight just gigantic, tough monsters. Like, how are we getting upset about this?
I actually just got to the point where he did his first air fork. I'm like chapter 50, 57, 58. He fights, what's his name? G-Rock? I don't know. The vice commander?
Yeah.
The straw.
The straw? Yeah.
Yeah, the mosquito guy.
Dude,
that guy. But I honestly thinking about it, like there was like Toriko should have been one of the biggest things ever because the appeal that it has. You know, you appeal to like Dragon Ball Z fans with the over the top, and you appeal to like JoJo and like Fissa and North Star people who like these outrageous muscular body types. It's like it should have been like one of the biggest shit ever, like one of the biggest shonens ever. But it just flopped for some reason.
And it
didn't flop. We're thinking flopping because we're comparing it to like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece levels, right? For being a manga, like getting 43 volumes out, like he's gonna be remembered as like one of the greatest shonen writers for having a 43 volume series. Like you're one of the best.
I agree with that.
Smokey, stop cracking out. Sorry, my cat's going crazy.
I agree with that, ToasterCat. I mean, because I waited to get into it, and then I ended up reading it, and I just felt like nobody was trying to read it, except for, like, I think Insidious Sweet was still reading it, and that was it. And, like, even though Insidious Sweet was pushing it, like, nobody was saying anything about it. And I was like, what's going on? But I just stayed with it and, read it everyone that came out, and even though they kind of had to rush the ending, I feel like it was probably one of the best endings in manga. Like, even with somebody that sits there and for years have had time to contemplate what their ending's going to be, like, even with One Piece, we might get there, and I still might say Toriko had a better ending than One Piece, depending on how it ends, I mean, it's just, that ending was just phenomenal how they did it.
I think I don't know, with the climate of Shonen Jump as of recently, like I remember now I'm gaining more faith in them simply because of this app and how much it is, and it's like, all right, they're being more realistic because of how the climate of manga reading is. If you're not being a collector, if you're not buying it, you're reading it for free online. Yeah. So they're being smart about it, and the price is insane. $199 a month. It's like you can't complain. But they had lost me a couple years ago with the whole Naruto debacle, where Naruto ended, and on the cover of the issue that had the final chapter of Naruto, they had a giant Korono Sensei from Assassination Classroom. It's like you can't even give him his own like freaking title page, his own cover page. It's like, really? The last chapter of Naruto doesn't get his own cover page. So I was like, when Shonen Jump did that, I was like, all right, guys, you guys just spit on my childhood.
And I mean, Rerun brings up a good point. He said Toriko resonated in the same way that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure did, in the sense that you can't think too hard about it. If you question JoJo's Adventure, you won't like it because you won't get it.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, what would it be? How would I say it? Imaginative masterpieces, right? Where it's just like, it's wacky, it's kooky, it's crazy, and it's like, if you actually sit down and think about it, I think the more you like it more if you actually think about it this way. It's like, how the fuck did this guy think about this? Respect for that.
What was this guy smoking?
On the apps, does it give you the ending where it tells you like what like got sent in from somebody else?
Yeah. Every time a monster comes in that's from a person, it'll have it at the bottom. like a little star, and it'll be like, "Thank you to this person for sending in this monster," and all that shit. And at the end of the app, they'll have those pages where it's like, "Oh, this is based off this." You know, it has like everything that would have in a regular volume, I think.
Yeah, I've told Lonely that before. That's one of my favorite things that they did in that. There's so much reader support that people would like send in their drawings or something like that, and then he would actually add it into the book.
Yeah, I agree.
What are we doing?
Sorry, the cat is being a complete loser today. Being a butthole.
Yeah, but for sure, that is a hidden gem that I hope one day like we'll get a box set for it. That'd be pretty cool. I get more people into it for sure. And it's at the perfect length for a two box set deal because 43 volumes. You do a 21-22 one, and you're good. You're set, money.
And it's honestly like it's so easily consumable. Like I think it has the ability to re-catch on.
Yeah, for sure.
It I think it's helped. I think it would be helped now if it came out. It would be honestly it's one of the top 2 food manga of
what would be its competition?
I mean, if you want to just go for straight ridiculousness, Yakite Japan.
Okay, because if you're gonna say Food Wars, it's gonna fucking leave, dude. That series is bombed.
It's
as of recently.
Trash. That series is trash.
Dude. After I was in love with it up until like I think chapter 140, like volume 14, 15, like it was fucking amazing, dude. I was like, when he comes back from his time skip, you're like, dude, shit's about to go down. We're gonna wrap up the series. This is gonna be epic. It's still going on?
Yep.
Yeah, apparently so. Like, what the fuck is going on? Dude?
Like,
it's derailing.
I don't want to say anything about that, then.
That series is fucking.
Okay.
Are we gonna have to kick you out?
There was like there was a cool off period, but now like with the recent stuff, you can tell it's getting close to ending. But I mean, they've brought all the heat and the iron back like tenfold.
But how, in my opinion, it's like it should have ended after a certain, like after he defeats like the first siege, or I don't know. They should have just wrapped it up. I always said this, even from the get go when it started being released here. Like this isn't a series that can go longer than 20 something volumes. And yeah, it hit that cool off period where it's very repetitive in its nature of like the structures of the shokugekis or whatever they're called. Like it's kind of the same shit. It's like you notice like whoever gives their plate first usually loses. If you're giving your plate first and they're eating it first, you lost, bro. Because the next guy's like, oh shit, but this is better. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because it goes with the whole, oh, you know who's going to win every time. Now where they're at, like, I feel like it's a 50-50. You never know if your character's going to be the person to win.
That's fine. But yeah, when it was before, it was like, hey man, I'm the first dish. But then if it wasn't, oh god, what's his name? Soma? If it wasn't Soma giving his dish, if Soma gave his dish first, he'd usually be like, oh, wait a second. I lost. Try this special sauce.
Yeah.
And you're like,
but it's that too is like Soma became a character where it's like, it's not that he can't lose. It's that if he loses, it's they're gonna find a cop out way, you know, and that's kind of a bit sad because it goes away with because losing's integral to like growing in a shonen at least.
Yeah, and I felt like I agree with you on that. I felt like he wasn't growing at all, and then one of the last chapters, well, one of the last books, they had to cook bear, and he actually went out into the wild and tried to find out like all this different stuff, and he comes back and tells you about it and all this other stuff, and the battle comes down to and I don't want to tell you who he had to fight because that'll just ruin it, but it came down to the judges basically telling him like, why does this taste so much better and all this other stuff. He goes, because I was cooking it for my opponent. I wasn't cooking it for me. And his opponent, no spoilers, was just like, what? I lost my cooking ability because I just went off of not caring anymore.
It's But see, what you're talking about is chapter 187. Food Wars has, let me get the most recent update. Shokugeki no Soma has 293 chapters. It's not pleasant.
Yeah, and then I think another thing for me is like the whole ecchi aspect of it too was like already like a check off of it because it was like sometimes it was a bit exaggerated and like I don't like to read them in public, but if I ever did want to, that isn't one I could. It's like
I would agree with you.
that is so that's already a notch, and then it just started like being a bit too. It was very reminiscent of Air Gear, where it starts off very very strong, and then it becomes very convoluted in what it wants to do. It strays away from what it was to begin with.
Like Air
My
Gear.
favorite thing that they did with that was where it was the fish guy and the spice master, and they made it look like Yu-Gi-Oh. He was like,
oh yeah.
I put all my spices, and it creates a fusion to make this big monster. And then the other guy's like, I don't need that. I sacrifice all my stuff to create this big giant monster. And you're just like, good Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Love it.
Man, like it just, oh man, I mean, like it Shokugeki, and
It has to be one of the most disappointing mangas for me, along with Air Gear, of when I like really I had like I was a fanboy, and then I was like, damn,
like
you lost me.
Air Gear's highest highs were amazing.
Fuck yes, dude. I want to say this, like, this was just personally, I think it's one of my favorites, but because it's such a small moment. But the thing is, why Air Gear lost itself is it tried to be so big and Dragon Ball esque, where like they think that you have to do something huge in order to captivate the reader or make something memorable. But my favorite, whenever I think of Air Gear, my favorite moment is when they're battling. I don't know. This has to be less than 100 chapters in. But when they're battling at the school still,
Yeah.
and then that rival gang comes and they're fucking riding on the gate on the fence.
They're doing their run on the fence, yeah.
Yeah, and then his comes and he just does that jump, the fucking moon jump, shit, the backflip, douche. That was it. That's it. That did it for me. I was like, dude, that's epic. That's all you needed from me.
Just the way that Air Gear handled its, like, they could have kept expanding the story, but they had to keep one-upping themselves. I was like, stop one-upping yourselves. Like, straight up, take me back to the good old fashioned, just like, you know, I liked when they got a little bit ridiculous, but when you had just on the imprint of the fire guy's mind who's trying to teach you all how to use your air gear because I'm so smart, I'm predicting exactly what's gonna happen. I was like, no.
I'm really a robot. It's like, what the fuck?
I was like,
there's robots?
The President of the United States. I'm out, boys. Can't deal with it anymore.
Or at the end when he like flies on fucking paper planes, right? It's like, what the fuck? Even that, like it's like not as crazy, but it's like, what the fuck, dude?
And it lasted for 10 years. 10 years. Like, I love it, don't get me wrong, but dear God, like, they could have at least, if they wanted to do it a different way, they could have straight up, like, thrown them against United, like, teams from across the world instead of, like they could have traveled all over the world to do the battles.
They could have given it Glossium-esque.
Yeah. No, the thing with Air Gear is, and Shokugeki in a sense, where it's like, don't get me wrong, this would be good if you start off like this. But when you have us thinking it's a certain type of way, a certain type of manga, and then you just transition to something different, it's like, no shit, you're gonna lose like most of your fans because we came in for this and now it's this. It's like, it's different. It's a different manga.
It's, yeah. Just the way, and you've seen my video, like, shonen manga's biggest downfall is their ending, and Air Gear hit that hard. They hit that so hard.
Honestly, though, the ending was not the ending was good, but the last the only thing good about the ending was like the last panel the last chapter, because it goes back to its roots a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's just the whole like, oh, kids are going by and you see the marks of where they've been just free riding, having fun. That's what you needed to have been, guys. And then at the end, when they're like, it's like, all you can go, like, don't think you can just stay here, just you can go up, like, go up. It's like, dude, that's it. That's what we're fucking missing
Like,
for the last, like, 200 chapters. It's like, nah, we gotta be Dragon Ball.
I need to be able to launch wind out of my shoes. What?
Yeah. I can stop time. It's like, what?
Like, none of this is... My technology is so advanced, I can stop time. Like, no. Stop.
Right.
Like, just stop. Stop. Like, how is your regalia, like, breaking the universe?
And why do kids have it?
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted it to be, I don't know if you guys remember back in the good old days, the Disney days, when they had those the live action movies. Do you remember the one that was about fucking roller skates?
No, I don't.
There's one that was about roller skates, and like at the end, like, you know, everyone, they're just racing and stuff, and it's like the super common trope of like those movies where it's like, oh, I'm an asshole bad guy, and it's like, oh shit, I want to beat him. Well, your only chance to beat him is gonna be at the end of the movie, the tournament. What?
Yeah.
Okay, and they just have a full on race down. You know, I was like, damn, that's what I want an air gear to be.
Isn't it? I know there's two of them. Isn't it Straight 8 for one of them, and then the other one is actually the prequel. It's Johnny, or the sequel, Johnny Tsunami.
Oh, Johnny Tsunami.
Sequel? No,
Yeah,
that's
where
a different
he-
series, isn't it? I
Yeah,
remember Johnny
'cause
Tsunami.
he was a surfer, and then he like moved to Cali and became a
Yeah,
skateboarder.
Yeah, the first one was he was a surfer who goes snowboarder, right? That's the first one.
Okay.
So, yeah, Johnny
Then the
Tsunami
second one where he learned how to skate.
came out in 2000.
Those are the days, dude.
It's the predecessor to Johnny Capahala.
Yes.
Yep, Johnny Capahala was technically a sequel.
And I mean, you had the Goof Troop movie, the second one, where Max did that.
like the goof, like, oh man, a goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie are like my jam. They hit me right in my soul. They're so good. By the way, I'm rereading this last chapter of Air Gear just to remember it. And good God,
You're killing.
like it's all over the place. Like, it's in the future,
Okay.
it's in the past.
The movie, guys, is called Brink.
Brink?
It's 1998. Brink.
Yeah.
1998. Okay. Alright, yeah. I remember that background. I remember that. Okay. That was before I had cable. I didn't have the Disney Channel back then. It's time. It takes a champ to stay in line. That is the worst, like, tag ever.
Hey, we didn't say the 90s had good tags,
Come on, man. It was a Disney movie. Give us a break.
right? Hashtag 90s, though.
What's the other one? Something's $1 Million Cook-Off. I
Oh,
don't know,
God.
fucking.
$1 Million
Yeah.
Cook-Off.
I
Yeah.
forget his name. He was a baseballer, but he wanted to cook, and his dad was like, "No, you have to play baseball." No, Dad, I want to cook.
And they made hot dogs. I was like,
Yeah.
how do you not know how to make a hot dog?
How do you make a hot dog? I don't know. You got like 2 ways, man. You can like 3 ways. You can throw it in a pot and boil it. You can throw it on the grill. You can throw it in a pan. There's a lot of ways. Like, you can eat a hot dog cold.
What do you mean, the little kid way, dude? The little kid way, when you're hungry, you want to eat it now. I've never been one of those raw hot dog eaters. I've seen them. People fucking do that, dude. Especially here, because I live right next to Mexico, like an hour away, 40 minutes. And my grandparents grew up there, and I would go there, and you'd go to like the store, the corner store, and they're actually selling like packets where it's like a cold hot dog and like chile, and kids would buy them and just eat it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? My lazy way is straight microwave, bro. Just fucking, when you're a little kid, you don't fucking know how to use the stove or boil water. Put that shit in the microwave for like 30, 40 seconds.
Poke holes in it, call it good.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's how you stop it from it blowing up, right?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. My shit would be blown up. My shit is fucked, dude.
You're like, Grandma, why are my hot dogs turning out right?
Dude, I wouldn't complain. I'd just fucking eat it.
I mean,
fucking done.
Right. You're like ketchup, mustard, whatever.
Just
I can't eat it. I'm just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about our favorite series from 2018. What was your biggest letdown?
Oh, I mean, my biggest series we didn't do yet, but that was one. I thought we were gonna go through all 10, but
we started talking about Johnny Tsunami, dude.
We did.
I don't think anything really let me down this year.
I have one.
Yeah, honestly, just Food Wars. We already talked extensively on Food Wars, and like I'll just use that as mine. Like, let's say, I think I started losing it last year or maybe the year before for Food Wars. I started losing it like after chapter like 140. At like chapter 170, I wasn't feeling the series anymore. Like I was done, and that was what, more than 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's just say this year is like the nail in the coffin for me, where I was like, done, bro. I'll read it online when it's over, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah. My biggest letdown for 2018 is one that I actually did pick up in 2018 as well, but it's not a new release, and I'm gonna get hate for this one, but man, like The Promised Neverland, like it made me like,
dude, don't stop, Lil Holly, stop. You gotta stop right now. I did my video. I was like, did the giveaway, and I was like, hey, what is everyone's favorite? Leave your favorite manga from 2018. I had like 50 comments on that video. The Promised Neverland has to be at least 50, like 40% of those comments. You're about to fucking get a storm of people, dude. People love that fucking series.
Well, here's this. It's good. It's very, 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 very good. It's very well written. That first arc is brilliant. Probably
top. Death Note for you.
Like, it is great, but it's suffering from the syndrome. Like, the author wants it to be done by a specific point in time. They like have this image in their mind, like, I want it to be done by X, and they're rushing the ending. Like, it's having all the elements of being where it used to be, but they're rushing the ending, and he's doing things that he didn't do before that made his story so good. He's doing something different with just the writing style and the characterization of his characters. And to me, like, because I binged it, I straight up binged it because I enjoyed it. Like, the first 3/4 of it was flawless. It was fun, violent, bloody. Again, I think it's a seinen, even though it'll probably be a shonen if I look it up. But
I've only read what we have in English, so
I've read everything up until the last volume that came out. But I mean, I'll get some hate for it too. I mean, I agree. But I also have to say that even all those people that had comments and stuff like that, like, we're not that far into it. I mean, you know, we're only 5-6 volumes or whatever it is. I mean,
7, yeah.
You don't know where it's going to go. I mean, it could just be a total bummer, all that other stuff. Not only that, but I think that some of us YouTubers have a part to play in that, because we read it starting out thinking it was good, and now we've made everybody basically drink the Kool-Aid saying, yeah, it's good. But, I mean, until you've read like a bunch of manga, I mean, I would say somewhere like ToasterCat and Loho Lee and me, like, once you hit your 100th manga, you know, you've basically taken on like that Grandmaster role, and you're like, I can sit there and read, and I enjoy it, but it's not the best manga ever.
I think definitely, well, especially, I don't know. I'm still at where everyone's at right now, and I think it's really good. But if everyone's going with the releases, like, we just barely got off the first arc, the escaping the whatever place, like the farm, and that's the best, right?
my favorite thing that happened so far, since me and you are at the same point, and I know Lovely is probably past that.
Oh, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
The pacifist guys that have the horse that they saved the kids on, and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna save them," and then the little girl alien thing, whatever they are, the monsters, was like, "Oh, you're not gonna do anything." He goes, "No, I wanted to save them so I could eat them later on, because they'll have natural kids." That was the last thing that I was like, because I felt like it was starting to dry out for me. I wasn't starting to like it, at least with the last part after they escaped. And then that part, I was like, I have something to look forward to. I can't believe it. Oh my god.
I don't know. I'll give Low Holly the benefit of the doubt on this one, but I'm not there yet, and I don't think I'm gonna be caught up with it anytime soon. Like I really like it. I'm not in love with it, and it's not like on my priority list. There's other things that I want to tackle before I move on to that. Is that I feel like 2019 is gonna be a year of like wrapping series up, like Toriko and Assassination Classroom. I just did that because these things that if I keep getting these ongoing series like Promised Neverland, it's gonna be like I need to tackle these behemoths first, add them to the resume of like manga read, and then get into these newer ones.
And like I said, I'll say, I still like the Promised Neverland.
And it can still win you back, right? It can still win you back.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna read it. I'm not gonna drop it like I did Shokugeki no Soma, but like it had so much potential and everyone was hyping it up so much, and it started to live up to the hype, which is something that I will never ever say. You know me. I don't like when people are like, "Oh, this is the greatest manga ever." I'm like, "Yeah, you're exaggerating. We're just getting into group talk now." But it's just that ending of like where we're at right now. The author isn't doing what Oda did, and that sounds really really weird because I'm comparing somebody like a very short manga to Oda, like basically who will I honestly probably go down as the god of shonen manga if he ends it right. But he was like,
I think he already is though. Like he captured the world, like captured Japan at least. Japan's just fucking a One Piece nation, right?
I mean, he's beating out Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I mean, what Oda did is he's like, I want my story. These are the plot points that I want my story to follow. This is how it's gonna go. But then every now and then he's like, oh man, I got to expand the story. I got to take it longer than I thought it was going to, because it was honestly supposed to be done by now. Like if you read his original interviews, it was the way that he had it planned out and typed up. It was supposed to be done, but he keeps expanding it and going on further and further with it because there's a story that he wants to tell. He's not trying to fit it into anybody else's idea. He's not even living up to his own original dream. He wants to keep expanding and making the story what he knows it should be. And I think that The Promised Neverland is failing at that point. They want to stick so hard to their schedule. They want to do basically what was recommended in Bakuman, where they ended it at a point. But he's rushing the story to get to that point where he can end it.
Right.
Well, the person who's like more like Oda in the sense would be the author, the manga of Attack on Titan, right? Like it was supposed to end, but he was like, you know what, big shit happened. Like let's keep going. I'm not caught up with Attack on Titan. I don't know anything about it, but that's what he did. Like it was supposed to end a long time ago, but he's like, wait a second, like I need to expand on the story. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But to be fair, in both those scenarios, they have the commercial backing.
Yeah.
No one's telling them to stop. Like Oda, if he says he's gonna write more, like no one's gonna fucking stop him. Even if fucking obviously Shonen Jump, he's the jewel, right? Even if they said like, yo, you keep writing your outing periods, like cool, I'll start my own next. It's like, oh shit, never mind, dude.
Can you just stay?
Right.
But yeah, it's
for sure. But yeah, let's get back on the Food Wars thing. We dropped it, but will you agree with me on this? Like when it ends, will you go back, reread it, and finish it?
I think
See how it wrapped up.
I'll do that just so I can feel some form of completion with it.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna do.
It right now it only deserves one read through, which is a huge insult for me.
Yeah, one read through when it's over. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back and try to like catch up with it. Just wait till it ends.
See, and I know we're sticking on this one, but I feel like the only thing that would make this one better with Food Wars, just from reading other food manga, would be like including a recipe or something in it, they don't do that.
No. Like
I mean,
even Yakite
everything
Japan
bread,
did
that's what
that.
they do.
Like, how weird is that? Like, Yakite Japan included like recipes at the very end. But
Lovely, try this at home. Oh, I can't. You know.
I don't have to. I have a girlfriend who makes bread.
Dude, I can barely fucking make a weenie in the microwave, dude. And I know I'm gonna poke holes in it.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. Why do you think you're called ToasterCat, not like toaster oven cat?
Right.
And Elias, to answer your
too.
question, 1 second, let me answer this really quick. To answer your question, from what I understand, he wants it wrapped up before 150 chapters, I believe, is what he was
God
aiming for.
damn. That's like soon, isn't it?
They're at 117 released right now.
So yeah, 30 more, 33 more. Give it a few.
Like I think he wants it to end in 2019.
Yeah, because that sounds like that's gonna be like 14, 15 volume.
You know what? Let's add another fucking another disappointment to my list this year. Actually, Seven Deadly Sins. That's another series that went on way too long than it, like 2 arcs than it should have.
Okay, would you agree with me on this one? If Seven Deadly Sins had ended
after the first fucking arc, it would have been great.
would it have been able to beat out Magi in your opinion if it had ended after that first arc?
Arguably, maybe I don't know, but then Manga would have that longevity aspect of like it was good and it maintained the goodness. Seven Deadly Sins was good in my opinion. There's people that didn't like it from the very get go, but in how I see that is from the very get go. You know, this is an over the top, very exaggerated series, but in my eyes, those kind of series need to wrap up quick because that gets very old and repetitive fast. So if it would have ended in that first arc, you know, gave us the hype Melia deaths, the awesome characters and whatnot, the fight scenes, and just we're done. We did it. Save the princess. So that's what it is, right? Save the princess. Yeah. Save the princess. Wrap it up. Hey, that was a good fucking story, you know. But now you continue this, and the power. You notice how bad the power system, the power creep is in that story because it's just like, oh, we gotta get stronger. Well, let's go get our weapons back. We're stronger again. Cool. Beat the guys up. It's like, all right, well, now we need to get stronger again. What do we do? Oh, well, I got hidden potential inside, homie. I'm good. It's like, what?
Welcome to Kingland, where I am the goat. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it was like, it just started getting convoluted. People were like, no, but then the story starts being good because they start adding all this. And like, I was like, yeah, but I wasn't reading it because of the story. It's like, I talked about it on my latest podcast, and I haven't uploaded yet, but it's like, there's some stories, there's some manga that the story is just a way for us to get more battles, and I'm fine with that. Like, the story is, like in Terraform Mars, the story isn't there to be like the limelight. It's there for us to introduce all these kooky, crazy fights. It's just a vehicle to get these fights. And people were starting to say that Seven Deadly Sins, like the story was in the limelight. No. These fights are just because of the story. It's like, no. The story is bad. The fights is what's good about it.
And then they started making the fights bad.
I mean, I feel like with even like all the stuff that's going on with the Ten Commandments right now, they could probably have cut out half of it, and it still would have been. I mean, it would have doubled its readability and enjoyment.
Yeah, and the problems arise in the Ten Commandments, right? But that's not even it, right? Like, there's still like more fucking bad guys afterwards. Like, this isn't even like once they beat these guys, it's not even over.
They still haven't beat the Ten Commandments yet.
Really? I think that
right now they're on the home stretch of they're trying to. I'm gonna spoil this for you so bad because I know you're not gonna care about it anyway.
Wait, one second. Does anyone in here care? Does anyone care about spoilers on Seven Deadly Sins? I want to try to avoid spoilers on this one just because I know it is more popular.
Yeah.
You got 10 seconds before I let, Mr. Graves.
Well, how I think it's like going to continue because this isn't the final arc. So I'm assuming if there's another arc, there has to be people care. There has to be another group of bad guys, right? Because that's the only way it keeps going. It's not gonna fucking turn into a slice of life anime, slice of life manga. It'd be like, oh yeah, we're just walking around the kingdom now, fucking living life.
So
there's gonna be bad guys. They're gonna fight.
This is going to be where they ended at for sure.
This is where they're going to end it. I agree. We do have one person who cares, so we won't spoil it. We'll have this discussion off air. Just because, like I said, I want to do my best to try to avoid spoilers for ongoing. If a series is done and it's a super popular one, I'm not going to avoid spoilers. But if it's ongoing and it's popular,
I wonder where they're at.
Like, where are you at? That way we can kind of say what's going on.
I mean, and it's something that you would have kind of already seen coming just from previous chapters. Like, whenever they actually did it, I was like, I saw this coming. Yeah.
It's just the power creeping is super over the top. Like,
they added numbers. Don't fucking add numbers. When your power system sucks ass, do not add numbers. That makes it worse.
Then you're like, how do we go from like
numbers,
3,000 to 100,000? Like, that's
because they don't know they're adding numbers as if it's relative, but it's not. It's like if you're adding numbers, if it's 3,000 goes to 6,000, that's double as strong. But you're telling me you're 10 times stronger now? It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Right. I think if you have a power system like that, you should just leave it at the tournament power level thing. Like, where, okay, the tournament has 36 fighters, and you're like, okay, well, where's everybody stand? And then as the people fight, you're like, okay, well, this person's worse than this person. This person's better.
So you know what people are strength relative to who they defeated and who they can defeat, right?
Yeah.
That's smart. So you have to infer. You have to infer how strong someone is. It's like, they're not telling you. It's not blatantly obvious. This person's strong. This person.
You're also not
even
saying
their record.
You're also not saying like, oh man, so and so, and oh my god. By the way, rerun. We had this discussion. Hunter lost out to.
Wait, who won that?
One
Hunter
Piece.
should have won. In my opinion, Hunter wins. It's the best power system in all of Shonen. The Nen system, you can't beat that. How does One Piece beat that? With their fucking fruit. You fruity motherfuckers. That shit, what do you mean? How the fuck does One Piece beat that? Nen system's way better than fucking their shit fruits. Okay, you can add the hockey in there too. The hockey's pretty bullshit. It's not that great. Come on, dude. The Nen system is actually like formulaic. I didn't watch that. Like, I didn't even fucking watch it.
I mainly already saw. I mainly chose One Piece just for some reactions like that. Oh man.
It's literally the best. It's literally the best fucking. You can't, like, don't get me wrong. What's happening right now is a little over the top, but it's still adhering to the rules, and that's what it is. As long as it adheres to the rules, I'm good.
Oh.
And there's some fucking holes in One Piece.
Oh, there are absolute holes in One Piece.
There's an insane amount of holes. But don't get me wrong, that Oda's gonna do some shit. It's like, oh no, this makes sense. It's like, all right.
You're like,
and the fanboys be like, you know what? It's cool.
That's why I like Oda. Oda doesn't even like shamelessly hide anything. He's like, oh, sorry boys, I retconned this. You're like, yeah, that's cool. You're like, Oda, I accept this because you foreshadowed like the 4 emperors in chapter 2.
Yeah. Well, people have a problem with Shanks, right?
Yeah.
They the supposedly Shanks was never supposed to be as big as he is right now. He wasn't supposed to be the limelight, and that's why he lost his fucking whole hand to a shark. And it's like, if you're this uber powerful guy and you just I sacrificed my arm for the next generation. It's like, come on, bro, you don't have to do that. You just give him your hat.
I mean, the other thing is that you got to think of is he was swimming out there to save Luffy, and it was how many years? Like 10 years?
Motherfucker had to have Commander's Hockey by then.
I don't know. I mean,
he could have just paralyzed that shit.
He did because he was worried about a small child that was basically about to die.
He kind of did use his hockey because he gave the shark the look, and the shark was like, "Oh crap!"
That's true. That's true. It's just malicious intent. Is
right.
Yeah. If that's the case, is Aura right off the bat? The fucking shark, the primal instinct was like, "Oh shit, there's a big motherfucker coming this way."
like I said,
No, but I'll give it to him. Like, yeah, fuck it. Like, give him his arm. Like, it makes it more epic in a sense, more grand.
Maybe we'll learn like that the East Blue like sucks more of your power out than the West Blue or something.
Or maybe he'll grow it back.
I
fucking Shanks.
Nah, Shanks will just grab an extra sword, stab it into the stump where his arm used to be, and just wave it around as a second sword.
I think I'm gonna have regrets with One Piece because like you're going to have no matter what we're gonna have regrets because when the series ends there's gonna be all these possibilities of fights or characters interacting with characters that never did, and I think Shanks is gonna be one of them because I feel like he's gonna have his time to shine, but then it's like, man, I wish I would have seen more of this or
Like,
more of him. He's a really cool character.
Honestly, if Oda is gonna do anything after One Piece, I bet you he's just gonna start writing like he's gonna write out like the plot points and like the major story beats for like so many spin-off series and just hand it to all of his assistants and say, go fucking wild.
Yeah, but if you pick that up, everyone's gonna be like, the moment I touch this, people are gonna say it's bad. It's not Oda.
I mean, is there gonna be another author who has that same amount of dedication? I mean, an author like Oda only comes around every so often. I mean, even the great epics that we have, like,
Dude, give that shit to Naoki Urasawa, bro. We'll get something way different.
yeah, exactly. The way that Oda carries the story, he like makes you feel emotions, like he makes you feel happy, sad, like, and it's still a grand adventure on a. It's a grand adventure, but all the characters, like, the world doesn't revolve around Luffy. Like, Luffy helps change the world and he interacts with the world, but the world does not revolve around Luffy. He's just a part of the flow. Unlike,
yeah, but we get that impression though because we're seeing his perspective.
Yeah,
you're right.
But then if you look at something like Naruto, no, the world, like, if Naruto's not there and like plot points aren't happening.
Yeah, but that's where he fucked up.
Yeah,
he made him too strong too fast,
and
he was doing a good job like in Shippuden, like when he wasn't doing that strong yet in the early Shippuden, like he was still getting his ass kicked a little bit. It's like, all right, let's maintain this. Nah, bro. I'm done. I'm the strongest.
You still had the whole dark thing though too, where it was kind of like, oh, I have to not get taken over by the nine-tailed fox.
Yeah, he had that for a while.
And again, Jared Runner, kind of brings up a good point. Like, for a lot of people, One Piece is it's such a long story. But I think we all kind of started early.
Yeah, but it is. But for me, at least, I'm done reading it until my goal is to pick it back up on chapter like 1990 or something. Not 1990. What the fuck am I saying? 990, like 990 something. Because I know for a fact chapter 1000 is gonna be lit. And I want to be there with everyone. Because right now I think I'm barely like Big Mom. Like, I didn't really read Big Mom, but I was watching videos on it, so I know what happened. But maybe I'll want to go back and read all that shit. And then I don't know what's going on right now in the new arc.
Dude, you're gonna have like 2 years to wait for 990.
I would say that.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We're at 929 right now. We just passed the 900.
A year and a half.
With Jared Runner though, I would say it's a good bench reading manga though. I mean, because I was like I read like 1 through 20, and then I was like at freaking 45 to current at the time was 60 something, and I was missing that whole middle part. So I ended up going back to like 15, reading all the way forward, and then getting about 5 manga into that. So I read up to about 50, and then jumped forward 10 volumes because I'd already read those just to get back into the story and everything. And I mean, One Piece is one of those ones that I just felt it was super easy to understand, super easy to follow, even though it is long. I mean, it's a battle manga, so you're going to be flipping through the pages fast whenever they have a fight scene. So
it's just I love it. I love it. I can never say
it shouldn't have won the battle systems of all time though.
It's yeah. And do I think that One Piece has the greatest power system? No. But do I think that if you're gonna try to explain a power system to somebody, like, One Piece on the surface is just so much easier. And if you were in universe, One Piece would be One Piece would, yeah, because I had to explain it
No, the terms are a little shitty though. Like it's like, oh, but then there's these Logia type ones who can become like fucking phase and shit. It's like the only way to beat them is hockey. Like, what are these words?
Or
what are you talking about?
but then okay, what can you explain to me in a sentence like what an enhancer, an emitter, a transmuter, a specialist,
See, that's why we had
manipulator.
to sit down. We had to sit down with a book and be like, all right, bro, this is gonna take a while. We're gonna talk about it first. Let me get a cup of water and a leaf, and let's figure this shit out.
That's
A cup of water and a leaf. This is great.
And no, and with that, like it's really it is really complex, but he's a master. Like that arc, the Heaven's Arena, or I don't know what it's called, the tower essentially. When they learn about everything,
yeah.
it's like that arc was when he explained it. I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, all right, so all this shit's going on. It's like, yeah, dude, you guys are getting fucked up by those old ass motherfuckers because they can use Nen. I was like, what the fuck?
What is going on?
Yeah, and then I think the climax of that arc is when Hisoka fights. Man, I forget his name. I used to know his name.
The tiger guy.
Yeah, he can make a doppelganger of himself.
Yeah.
That fight was fucking epic. It was like, what? Gave up an arm. It's alright. Let's stitch that shit back up.
Man, it's
Ouch.
like I said, it's real good. Where'd he go? I lost sight of the cat, guys.
It seems like Black Clover, too. Yeah.
Oh,
Castro. His name's Castro.
Yeah, it was Castro. Because I remember it being weird. I was like, man, that's a weird name.
I'm rereading the series. I'm gonna start. I started a couple days ago. I'm gonna catch up.
I read Black Clover, and then I was like, ah, man, it's okay. And then
yeah, Black Clover is pretty basic, generic. It's good if that's what you're looking for, but if you're not looking for that, you're not gonna like it at all.
I think if you're wanting to turn your mind off and just like, not think about a manga, that's what I would do. It's just like straight up turn my mind off, not think about it, and call it good.
Yeah, because the world is really fucking cool because it's like reminiscent of Hogwarts. And whenever anything's reminiscent of Hogwarts, I'm like, I'm fucking down. Spellcasters, fucking a city of magic, hell yeah, sign me up. But then it's like, alright, cool. Like, alright, it's basic shonen stuff. But then everyone's argument is like, yeah, it's basic shonen tropes done right. It's like, yeah, but what if you don't want shonen tropes and you're not gonna like it?
Man.
Nothing new has been added from that. No innovative, nothing innovative. Like, Promise Neverland, the reason why it hit so big is like very, very innovative in its story. Like nothing's been done like that before.
Oh, Black Torch. Where would you put that one?
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Oh, no, you can in before we get done.
Innovative, great shonen, Dr. Stone. I caught up with it. It's fucking great.
Told you.
Such a fun read. Yeah.
Everyone's always like, man, that first volume is like, I don't know if I want to continue. I'm like, listen, just read the second volume, it'll be fine.
There's a little.
I don't know.
Are you caught up with it, Lohoe?
Yeah, I am.
Where we're at right now is scary. We're at a cliff where it's either gonna be up from here or like it's gonna go down.
Yeah, it's at that turning point. But if you take a look at
to be fair, he did Ice Shield, right? So yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Like it's the author, it's the writer behind Ice Shield and the illustrator behind Sunken Rock.
Sunken Rock, did you read it? It's alright.
Yeah. So like the artwork is good. Like
yeah, the story is very, very like very good in the beginning. Starts off really strong, but then just like kind of fizzles.
Like
in my opinion,
Elias, I made a video about that, Elias, about how Harry Potter should have a manga. That was my first like dip into the realm of this needs to happen.
They want us to. They're asking what do we think about Blue Exorcist. I don't think I should talk about this. But I don't like it, but I'm not gonna tell you. I'll tell you why I don't like it. But it's different for everyone. Blue Exorcist is more of like a slice of life type battle manga, and that's not what I wanted from it. Like I wanted an actual like fight scenes. And from where I read up to like volume like 14 or something, it's a lot more conspiracy filled. And when they do have fights, they're on the larger scale of like fighting versus like a big beast sort of thing, a big deity in a sense. Like there's no actually like one-on-one combat, and I didn't like that. And that's why I didn't really get into it too much.
The here coming out of the gate, I think it's going to turn into that. Where we're at now, even though it took so long to get to it, I think it's going to turn into that. Because now they just like the whole world is starting to find out about demons, and the gate's broken that's been holding them back forever. So I think it's going to turn into that you want, even though I will agree with you all that craziness.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hate to be this way, but I gotta end the stream. I know we're doing good and we're having a good discussion. What about in 2 weeks on the next Saturday we meet up and talk about our hopes for 2019?
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right, so Graves, if you want to sign out first, and we'll do Toaster, then me, and then we'll call it good. And
I got a shout out too.
Oh, you have a shout out? We throw in shout outs, bro.
Can I shout out my SoundCloud rap page?
As long as it's straight fire.
My shout out is somebody that actually is fairly new. I think most of us probably know a little bit about him because I have been putting different things on different social media to try and get him some subs and whatnot. But Flip Otaku, really cool. Yeah, really cool guy. He does manga. He does all the Gundam Gunplas, like models, different stuff like that, even though he hasn't done a video on that yet. Some other stuff. But, I mean, he's a really cool guy. I'm really glad to kind of add him into our ranks and everything.
Our ranks? You make it sound like an evil army.
He's doing a collection video too this week, so that'll more people will know about him then. I'll link his channel.
Heck yeah.
Is it Flip Manga or Manga Flip?
Flip Otaku. I linked it in the chat.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, because I know I'm subscribed to him already.
Yeah, when I put it on Discord.
Oh yeah, you should give him the Discord. We should give everyone the Discord.
Next week I'll try to throw the Discord in the description for Tuesday.
We haven't really been promoting it at all. We don't. Yeah, so should probably next year. Let's make it big. Right now it's just pretty much us and like the OGs in there.
We're horrible advertisers.
Yeah. We're the worst advertisers.
Okay. Want me to just sign out? ToasterCat here.
Give a shout out if you want to give a shout out. Do your usual thing.
Shout out to my collection video. Go watch it. ToasterCat. How many subs did you start the stream with, Holly?
I started with 192.
192?
Yeah.
You're at 196, brother. We're almost there.
We're almost to that 200, and once I hit that 200,
hopefully we can make it by New Year.
I think if we
should be able to. 3 days.
3 days, yeah. Today, tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah,
I need like 5, and I'll be at 350.
You know what? Yeah. Next goal is to get Mr. Graves over here to 500.
That'll happen next year for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we keep coming down, and if I come down and help you film your collection video, I think we'll get there.
Right. I already talked to ToasterCat about putting more.
You gotta do a fucking like TLC video. TLC fucking like, alright, today guys, we're gonna come in with this guy has the most manga in the state. See how he lives his life. Like,
I mean, I got a camera now.
I feel like we're gonna have to play this up because the life of otaku is not very exciting, except in manga.
It's still exciting. You have a job.
We're gonna have to do the whole like, what does he do every morning? Go outside and practice swinging a sword.
Yes.
I practice.
Yes.
What else do you? I go in a house and I practice calligraphy.
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see that. But yeah, anything else that you want to say, Toaster?
No, just awesome. Had a good time. We'll do it again in 2 weeks.
Yep. All right, and thanks everyone for joining me on this Saturday. I know this is a stream where we really get to talk about what we want to talk about. I mean, that's what we are all about here at the Livestream Manga Club, is having fun, trying to make me really upset every single time that we mention Death Note, and angering ToasterCat when you mention the fact that, you know, the system behind Hunter x Hunter could be better.
Oh, and Magi.
But so for all of you subscribers new and old, welcome and welcome back. Don't forget to check out next time, where we're going to be streaming Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Central American time. Not Central America like in Mexico, but like Chicago time. Call it Chicago time. Let me know what you guys want to hear us talk about. As always, it's your boy Lohali, signing out.